I'm joined now in studio by Anthony Durkacz, co-founder of World Class Extractions, trading on the CSE under the symbol PUMP, and Rosy Mondin, the CEO of Quadron Cannatech, CSE-listed QCC. Welcome.
Thank you for having us.
Rosy, let's start with you.
Sure.
Tell me, what does Quadron Cannatech do?
Well, Quadron Cannatech, we started around 2016, well actually 2015, getting into the extraction space. We knew early on we didn't want to be in cultivation, and extraction was just where it was all starting to go. We saw that that's where the future was going to go, actually, because if you look at all the derivative products, the extracts form the base ingredient for all derivative products in cannabis. So back in 2015, we started putting together some extraction laboratories. We built our first extraction machine arising out of that, because the equipment that we were working with was really onerous, hard to deal with, so we decided to develop our own. That's the boss that we came out with. And then from there, we've put together the extraction facilities that allowed us to work out all the bottlenecks in the extraction processes, figure out the ancillary equipment that would be needed to make a really nice oil at the end, and we were focusing on making vape pens for patients.
Okay, and is this a supercritical CO2 type of extraction?
Super, and it can run subcritical as well.
Okay.
Yes, it's a low temp, low pressure system. So that was the first that we came out with.
Sure. And Anthony, give us a quick update on what does World Class Extractions do?
Sure. So World Class founded a technology which is a continuous flow for industrial scale, which was very large scale, where we could process wet or dry flower, which made it very unique. And so, one of the announcements that we made yesterday is that Quadron and World Class have merged. So legally the vote has passed, which we're extremely excited about.
So what's the symbol going to be, QCC or PUMP?
PUMP.
See the shirt?
Okay, so tell me, what's the compelling business logic for two extractors combining?
Sure. So we were looking around. We're always looking around, and so the world of extraction is going to go through a lot of changes and fast changes, because that's really where a lot of the action is happening in the industry today. And the concentrates, edibles, things that are made from the extractors are what is gaining ground. So the dry flower is losing ground, and the consumers are consuming more extractor concentrate products. And so you're seeing a lot of action. You're seeing, in terms of performance in the stock market, the extractors have outperformed the rest of the industry over the past 6 months. And so that trend, we believe, is probably going to continue. And so there's so many exciting opportunities. With Pump, we realize that we have to remain on the forefront of technology. And so we've been looking around the globe, and Quadron was a perfect fit. They have a technology which I would say is leading edge today, and their knowledge base and their operators like Rosy are amazing, and they are top in class from what we've been able to see, and so for the price, ultimately we think this is really a steal in so many ways. And
where is Quadron based, Rosy?
We're in Vancouver.
Oh, okay.
Actually, our offices are in Burnaby, and our manufacturing is in Langley, British Columbia.
So as extractors, you're obviously not in the business of cultivating cannabis. Where are you going to get your feedstock?
So what we are doing is actually setting up relationships with partners, joint venture partners, strategic partners, to actually set up these processing facilities in tandem with them, rather than taking on the licensing risk ourselves. Especially now having to build out a facility in full, we work with those who are already late-stage applicants or who are already licensed. And our part in it is that we finance a portion of the project by putting up the extraction side of the facility, and for that, depending on the deal, we take a portion of what comes out.
Very cool. So it's not exactly a toll milling situation, more of a
contract manufacturing.
Manufacturing.
So what we're doing is setting up, we'd like to see about 6 to 8 facilities that we have our hands in Canada alone. And that allows us actually to continue making products. That was under the medical model before, but now going forward, and you have to think about it, this whole legalization of extracts, edibles, and topicals hasn't even started yet. So we think we're really, really well positioned, considering the experience that we have, the machinery that we have, and setting up these partnerships. I'm really excited to get going on this now.
Cool.
And then that's in Canada, and then we're going to be working on, right now I've got lines on 3 deals that we'll be doing down in the U.S. for contract manufacturing of the CBD oils out of hemp.
Okay, and you also made an acquisition in North Carolina of a hemp growing operation.
We did a deal with a farmers co-op in North Carolina, and that'll be the first step. Legally, Quadron and Pump had to merge, and so yesterday, Friday was the actual vote. Yesterday it was announced. So now we can operate as one company, where legally we couldn't before. So the mandate is for Rosy and the entire management team to now begin to ink contracts. We've stated capacity that we can, manufacture by the end of the year with our machinery. So now it's time to fill that capacity with contracts.
Okay, and what is the capacity?
Well, we have 4 machines right now, so that will be having like I mentioned, the Boss. That's 50,000 kilos per year that it does in CO2. We also, there's also a lot that we do in pre-processing as well, so to prepare the materials. So the actual weight of the biomass might be different than what actually goes in because we pelletize and crush. So
okay, so when you say 50,000
kilos per year, annual
is
capacity.
That dried flour?
Going in, dried, crushed capacity that's going into the vessel.
Okay.
So that would be for the Boss CO2. Then we have the co-solvent Big Boss that will be doing 500,000 kilos per year. And then we've got the Beast, which is an ethanol extraction system. That one does 1 million kilos capacity per year. Then we have the Big Beast, so it's part of the Beast family. So we have the Boss family and the Beast family.
Ooh,
and the Beast
Boss
family.
And the Beast.
Yeah. And actually we had staff, our team is really engaged and excited about all of this. So they we had them vote on the name of the Beast.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah, and so the Big Beast is going to be 5 million kilos per year.
Mm-hmm. And what products does ethanol extraction result in relative to critical and subcritical CO2?
Well, the ethanol we'll be using mostly for hemp extraction. We can use it for smaller cannabis farms as well, but primarily the big ethanol extractors will be for the hemp side, and then we'll be utilizing the CO2 primarily for cannabis. To note, when we go into the U.S., we are only going to be doing CBD extraction. We're not going to touch the THC extraction just quite yet, just because it's not worth the risk as far as the non-legalization nationally of recreational cannabis.
Right, you don't want to break out in handcuffs.
No, there's no point in that, but we're going to have enough business, I think, to keep us busy just on the CBD. I mean, if you think about it, the CBD side is really what every human can turn towards, right? Versus the THC, which is going to be more user based on what they want to get out of a psychotropic kind of a high. CBD doesn't give you that. So it's accessible to pretty much every human who wants to use it.
Mm-hmm. And don't forget dogs.
Oh, the pet therapy side of it is huge. It's a multi-billion-dollar market. So it's not only dogs, every mammal has an endocannabinoid system in it. So I've even been musing on how it might be helpful to horse racing, right? Because they use a lot of pharmaceutical type of products. So I mean, there's joint rehabilitation and just general health and well-being. It might be, I think the great thing about legalization is the research that's going to come out of all of this. So I don't even think we can fathom where this is going to be in 10 years. There's going to be a phenomenal amount of research and a phenomenal amount of applications for these products.
You bet. So your goal as a combined entity is to produce the high volume of highest quality concentrated extract to be used as ingredients in the food and medicine industries?
Correct.
Yes. Also, once we've got it and we've built, what I would refer to as almost like a cannabis elevator, then it's there. And when they do eventually legalize cannabis, definitely for medicinal purposes, is coming in the USA. That'll open up a whole other door and so many other opportunities. But I think you have to be established in the USA. I mean, the market for CBD is amazingly large, and it looks like more and more where, I think every sort of 5 years or so you get some sort of like vitamin or supplement that everybody all of a sudden begins taking, for health reasons, and I see CBD, and it's my personal value as something that you'll start seeing in even cornflakes in the next sort of 2 to 3 years. And
we're actually aligned in that, because I've been saying that as well when I've been speaking, that I can see things being fortified with CBD. I mean, we fortify with niacin, which is an egg extract, right?
I do 48 milligrams of CBD every morning.
Right.
after my cornflakes. So
No,
if it was
there
in the
you-
cornflakes,
right? There you go. It
I'd
is
be
so
a
much
buyer.
easier. It could be in our sugars. It could be in our baking flour.
You bet.
Yeah, we just don't know where it's going to go, but I think the opportunities are huge. Wait till the food processors start getting into this.
Yeah, no doubt. Well, that's amazing. It sounds like the combined entity is more than the sum of two parts, so I wish you both very well. We'll leave it there for now. We'll come back to you soon. Thanks for joining me today.
Thanks,
Thank you.
James.
Thanks, James.